Hi, I'm Nick Ross for iTWire. Today we're with Franconnect. Who are you? What is your role and what is your remit?
Thanks for having us. My name's Paul Sharpe. I'm the General Manager of Franconnect in Australia and New Zealand.
And for those who don't know about Franconnect, what's the market you operate in?
So Franconnect offers an end-to-end SaaS platform that helps franchise brands and multi-unit businesses connect growth with operational execution. So, driving location expansion, operational efficiency, and unit level performance for our customers. We've been around for over 20 years, and over this time we've taken the best in practice that we've seen from our most successful customers and built them into our solution. We have I guess through that, a unique insight into the type of technology that helps franchise and multi-location businesses grow and scale. So out of the box, the solution, there's best practice built in. It's really that laser focus on the business challenges for that specific market segment that's resulted in Franconnect becoming the #1 provider in North America. We now have 1,500 brands globally, and 350,000 locations on the platform globally across 146 countries. So it's become quite a large business.
And what are your key products and offerings?
So Franconnect's a really powerful cloud platform that helps customers grow, scale, optimize their business. The product is modular, so we tend to take a phased approach to how we talk to customers about it and implement it. Starting off and where the greatest pain point for the customer might be. So I won't attempt to explain the entire offering in this short interview, of course, but I'll touch on a few of the key elements. Firstly, develop. That's our integrated CRM, if you like, for accelerating location and territory growth. So it helps qualify, nurture, convert leads into high-performing franchisees in the franchise space. And then operationally, reduces store opening times, which, we're big on sort of reducing that first day to dollar, if you like. So in develop, you get everything from initially identifying, say, new franchisees, all the way through that sales cycle to onboarding and then to store opening. Once you get to store opening, that's when really our foundation platform kicks in. So that streamlines all of your operational data. So allowing you to centrally manage agreements, location data, centralized reporting, regulatory compliance, and obviously, insights and analytics through that. That platform becomes that one source of truth and the system of record for capturing everything collected during the opening process and ongoing through the life of the location. The last one I'll touch on is engage. This provides the ability to collaborate and train across multiple locations. The biggest challenge we hear from franchisors and multi-unit owners is their units won't often use the systems they give them, which is a real challenge. This is usually because there might be 5 or 6 different platforms, they're asking them to log into to do different tasks. The Franconnect platform overcomes this barrier by having everything's centralized, again, making it easier to manage, resulting in higher levels of user adoption and corporate and frontline management level.
Okay, and what challenges do franchise and multi-location businesses face that other businesses don't?
Right, yeah. Look, there's multiple challenges, a unique challenge, but one example is franchise and multi-location businesses typically have large number of frontline employees. Many of these are casual, and in sectors like QSR, there's very, very high turnover. So the challenge is how do you train and develop a large transient casual workforce? Our answer, of course, is Franconnect World Manager module. It provides a best practice learning management system that automates training, employee development, and enables our customers to manage and report on compliance, really importantly. And all of that's delivered through a mobile app.
And with companies who have yet to join the platform, what level are most of them at when it comes to digital tools and processes?
Yeah, I'd say when we first engage with customers, we start with a discovery call, to understand the business processes and the platforms in use. In many cases, the customer is using various software tools to address specific parts of the process, with minimal integration between each other. So they're not really talking, they're all in silos. An example would be, we're currently working with a client at the moment. They've got 200 locations, over 200 locations already. So they're a reasonable size organization. And their objective is they really want to accelerate their growth. In other words, in this circumstance, a franchise environment, they want to sell more franchises. So they're currently using Excel spreadsheets, to track franchise opportunities, and store potential locations, so real estate as well, and manual PDF-based application process for the franchisees to fill out, or potential prospects, which obviously quite cumbersome. They're also using Excel spreadsheets to manage the store opening process, manually filing all the documents associated with that process, then into SharePoint. So, in that example, with even just adopting, say, 2 modules of the Franconnect platform, develop and foundation, all of these moving parts can be consolidated into the one system, and that clearly, will immediately accelerate the sales process, the store opening process, established as a central repository for information associated with the store, and just accelerates that days to first dollar.
And can you tell us about some of your customers and the market share around the world?
Franconnect's the #1 provider in this segment in North America. As I mentioned before, we have 1,500 brands on the platform, and that's globally, including smaller, SMB brands right through to large enterprise. So we've been able to sort of address the bottom of the market as well as the large enterprise. From an Australian perspective, we also support 255 brands in Australia, including some household names like Hungry Jack's, Porto, Mr. Minute, Jack's Tires, just to name a few.
And how long has Franconnect been available in Australia?
We've had customers that have been on the Franconnect platform in Australia for many years, like, say, Poolworks, Lift Brands. However, up until recently, we didn't have a local presence. A lot of these sales were done from the US and supported out of the US. So in August 2022, Franconnect made an acquisition in Australia, an Australian company called World Manager. It's a very highly established learning and development platform. So that created our footprint in Australia and New Zealand. And in the region now, I have 25 team members on the ground servicing our customers across Asia Pacific.
And what can the Australian franchise industry learn from the US?
Well, the most obvious answer is how to leverage technology to connect growth with, your operations and your execution. The franchise industry in the US is around 10 times the size of Australia. It's been around for a lot longer, obviously, as well. And therefore, it's just more mature when it comes to technology adoption. From a Franconnect perspective, we've been on this journey with our customers in the US for over 20 years, customizing the platform to meet the unique needs of the specific industry. So, the opportunity now here in Australia is to leverage those learnings and best practice from the US. As I mentioned before, a lot of that learning comes out of the box with the Franconnect platform. So there's a lot of value and a lot of learnings there that's delivered through the platform.
And what's your presence in APAC like?
Yeah, so I mentioned that before. We support over 255 brands in Asia Pacific, but my view is that's just the start. That's something that's built over time. But, we see a huge market opportunity for Franconnect in APAC, given the explosion of franchise models across the region, particularly in, say, Malaysia and India, given their large consumer markets and increasing purchase power, that's really taking off in those geographies.
And what are your development teams working on?
Well, there's a constant development cycle that's happening around the Franconnect platform. Probably the latest iteration is around a product called Sign to Pay. So we're now moving into that payment space as well. So the example would be when for collecting royalties in the franchise world and reducing that days outstanding by implementing the ability through the platform to invoice and through the platform with our partner Flywire to literally press a button to pay. So streamlining the receivables process.
And how can potential partners work with you? Are you direct, or do you go through the channel partners, or what?
We're actually direct. We do work with consultants, of course, in this space, but we're a direct model. So yeah, the best way to do it is reach out directly to myself or my sales team. You can visit franconnect.com, of course, and request a product demonstration. That's one way to engage. There's a wealth of material on the website, including customer testimonials and thought leadership webinar recordings. So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, of course, or email paul.sharpe with an E at franconnect.com.
Okay, I'll add those links into the article as well. And is there anything else you'd like to add while you've got the iTWire B2B audience of Australia listening?
Yeah, no, I just think I'm very excited about this role. This role, a great opportunity for me to bring this brand to the market, knowing that it's such a big global brand, but not that well known in Australia. So, yeah, I'm loving this opportunity to bring the brand to Australia because it's very strong. And one thing that makes it a lot easier, in the industry is when you've got great references, really deep references in some of the largest organizations around the world. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Okay. Paul Sharpe, thank you very much.
Thank you.